Hey everybody. Well, I'm heading back to that bottle dump and decided to take a new route off the beaten path. I came across this really interesting pine scrub full of bent pine trees, and it's just really wild. Everything's so gnarly and cool, but it's also wide open, easy path. I'm really enjoying this, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm heading back to that bottle dump to see what more I can find there. I searched online for information regarding the ones that I had in the previous video about that bottle dump, and I didn't find anything. I didn't find any information at all. So I'm kind of excited to see what else I can get into out there. All right, let's do this. Okay, I've made it to the bottle dump, and I've obviously located the ones I found from last time. Those are set apart from the rest. I am finding bottles everywhere, and some really interesting little artifacts. Some big old mayonnaise jars, you know, or something, I don't know. You know, that's a great big jar right there. Don't know what it is, but most of what I've been finding had a paper label on it. So there hasn't been any printed labels or embossing, except for no deposit or things like that written on the side. Like, this is the third one that I found just like this, and this one is obviously a favorite of the person who left these here. You know, this did have a paper label on it at one time. The thing about this one is, I looked online and searched to see if I could find something that matches this bottle, but I haven't found anything. If you guys have any input or any ideas what it might be, I've looked at gin bottles, I've looked at tequila bottles, I've looked at vodka bottles, vintage bottles online. I couldn't find anything that matched this, but there is a lot of bottles in here that are stuff that I've never seen before. However, I am finding plastic lids, and I did find a hot sauce bottle and a few beer bottles. So this is an interesting one. Like a syrup bottle or something. Got the ridges on the sides. So, and it's got a design on the bottom. Let's see. Log cabin. There it is. Log cabin syrup. See that? That's cool. This is an old log cabin syrup bottle. That's alright. Awesome. And I'm going to look around some more and see what else we can dig up. Alright, cool. Man, that one's in there really good. That's not coming out without a bit of digging. You gotta be really careful about these ones because you don't want it to break in your hand. That would suck. Don't need a cutout here. There's no way. Not a good thing. So I'm being really careful, excavating as much of the dirt from around the bottle as I can. I can feel the bottom of it. Looks like one of them old bleach bottles, like those Clorox bottles that I found in that other place. But this one's transparent, so it's not a brown bottle like the Clorox bottles were. Oh man, look, it's really gross. It's got all kinds of stuff floating around in it. Who knows how long, but it's really thick and gooey. It's got sediment that changes color from the top to the bottom. I don't know if you can see it rolling around in there. But yeah, that's pretty gross. I have no idea what kind of bottle it is, but if you guys have any ideas, let me know. It did have a paper label at one time. You can see the ridges from where the paper label was stuck with the glue. So I don't know. I think it could be some type of cleaning material or something, like pine sol or something. Anyway, let's see what else we can find. Wow, that's quite the haul. And there's got to be 30 bottles here. I mean, there's all kinds, you know, and but this whole area wasn't really, you know, as sprawling as I'd hoped. Yeah, it's a raised area and it goes way back there, but this spot right here had the most concentration of bottles. So, and some of them aren't very old, but I did find 4 of these bottles. You may remember that in an earlier video. I searched online and I couldn't find any information on this bottle whatsoever. I couldn't find what type of liquor it was or any similar type bottles. You can see it's got these vertical lines running up and down. In the earlier video I talked about how the bottom of this one isn't quite round. You can sort of see that it's a little oblique, but this had paper label, a screw top. So I don't know. If you guys have any ideas what this bottle might be, feel free to leave them in the comments. Obviously we got that really cool little bottle that had those little ridges on it that I like. This would not have been a printed bottle, only because of the texture, so this may have had a paper label on it at one time. However, I couldn't find any information on this bottle either, and the closest thing I saw was a Coca-Cola bottle, but those were a pint and this is only 10 ounces, and it had that. The Coca-Cola bottle had the same ridges running down the side, but it had a smooth face for a label. So that was the closest thing I found to this type bottle. This one's probably going to go home with me. And I found all types of bottles, like baby food or mustard or something. This doesn't have any kind of labels on it. It doesn't have any kind of markings. It just has a little bit of embossing at the top, kind of floral pattern. This is a Handy, spelled H-N-D-E-E, Handy. And these were often used as vinegar jars since the 20s. I don't believe that this is a 100-year-old bottle, but it is really cool, and it's got these cool graduations on the side. You can see the measurements there. So that's a really cool bottle there. This looks like it could have been some apple cider vinegar or something. This is that type of bottle. Now, all these bottles have the liquid in it as I found them. This is, you see the lid is still on there. We got an old Wishbone bottle. That's pretty cool, huh? You know, and it even says Wishbone on the bottom. So let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Right there. So that obviously isn't a very old bottle. Now this one's fun. This one looks like an old ketchup bottle, right? But on the top it says new flavor. So I don't know what that is, so who knows. Now, another really neat find in this whole bunch is, no, not this liquor bottle. This liquor bottle. There it is. This one's really cool. It's got a cork top, and the label says, hold on, where is it? Crown Jewel, D-A-N-T, Dant, I guess, since 1836. Crown Jewel. And I've never heard of Crown Jewel, but it is 1 quart, and it's just a really neat old bottle. Look at that. So that's a neat bottle. I'm really happy about that one. That's a good find. And of course we got the bottle I dug out of the ground earlier. This looks like it could have been like a vinegar bottle of some sort. It's still got some goop floating around it. Look there. That's gross. But it's got a little critter swimming around in it. But this also looks like maybe a pine sol bottle or a vinegar bottle of some sort. I'm not sure. But let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I found 3 of these big old gallon jugs here. These are neat. These are always really special jars. 2 of them are similar. They have the cool handle there, and then one is slightly different. I'll get that one. Oops, careful now. Don't want to break anything. This one's still full of the water that I found it in. See, the handle's slightly different. So these are really neat. Put that back carefully. So yeah. So that's the haul. I mean, of course you have like that log cabin syrup jar, and that's really cool. Now there's another set of containers here that are really neat. Of course, remember those back in the 60s and 70s. I remember these in the 70s. But check that out, Mountain Dew. All right, that's pretty neat. But this is an exciting discovery, because I was reading the ingredients, and they say, let's see, water, sugar, orange juice and other natural flavors, citrus and caffeine, and then it says propylene glycol, sodium citrate, gum arabic, artificial yellow, and I can't read that. Oh, brominated vegetable oil, and preserved with sodium benzenate and ascorbic acid. And but it's the orange juice that surprised me. I was really intrigued by that. I was like, orange juice? I used to put orange juice in Mountain Dew. I bet it probably tastes a lot better back then. But anyway, it does have a barcode. So this is a really neat find. And then an old pop top Budweiser can. It looked like something had been chewing on it. So it could have just been shot at, but I mean, I don't know. But yeah, cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this bottle hunt with me. I'm going to pack it up and start heading out because it's starting to get dark. And I'm going to take that one bottle with me and see if I can do some more research on it. And I'll let you guys know what I find. Alright, cool. Okay, I worked really hard to try to identify this bottle. I turned up 0 results, so I have no idea what was in it. However, I did learn how to read a maker's mark. On the bottom here, there's a little logo. That's an O and an I, and that stands for Owens, Illinois. That's a glass company that's been around since the late 20s. This particular logo was adopted in 1954. Previous versions had a great big diamond around it. So now I know which direction to go in order to try to identify this bottle or date it, and possibly date the bottle dump that I found it in. There's 2 other numbers here. There's an 11 and a 5. Those indicate the plant that it was manufactured in and the date. The first number is the plant. And the reason I know that that's the plant, because this is definitely not a 1911 bottle. So we can eliminate all the other questions. This code right here is for a plant that's located in New Jersey, and it went into operation in 1963, and it continues to operate today. The second number is a 5. Now, with the research that I've done, they usually date it with a single number at the end of the date. So it's like a 1965, 1975, 1985. Now, I'm leaning more towards 1975 on this bottle, and the reason I'm doing that is because of one major clue, and that was that Mountain Dew can. Check that out, Mountain Dew. All right, that's pretty neat. Mountain Dew adopted that new logo in 1969. They switched from the hillbilly in the bathtub to just the words Mountain Dew. Now I know that in 1980 they switched it a little bit, but only just slightly. And those details are noticeable if you know what to look for, so I know that that's the 70s era of that logo. So this bottle is obviously a 1975 bottle. That would mean that that dump was probably, you know, established around the 70s. It's probably about 40 years old. So most of the bottles in there are about 40 something years old. The log cabin syrup bottle, I found evidence of that being, you know, manufactured in the 70s, because the embossing on the sides and no embossing on the front or the back. That was for paper labels, so that was a 70s version of that bottle. The Wishbone bottle, it was hard to tell, because the only indication that was 60s or 70s was that they started switching to plastic bottles in the 80s, and the two versions of that bottle I found didn't vary much from the 60s to the 70s. So I'm willing to bet that that bottle dump is about 40 years old, and this bottle was made in 1975. And if you guys have any idea what drink or whatever was in this particular bottle, feel free to leave it in the comments. It's, like I said, it's got those really cool ridges running down the side. I don't know if you can kind of see that there. You know, it was a pop top. It says no deposit, no return. On the bottom it says not to be refilled, and it has those codes on it. So that's the information that I found hunting around and doing some sleuthing. I hope you guys found this information helpful, and like always guys, thank you for watching. Take care.